Y'all can hear me? Okay, good. I don't want to break eardrums. But again, welcome. We're going to turn the microphone over here to our president here, Pawnee Nation, Mr. Walter Eckelhoff, come and give us an opening prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Yes, thank you, President Burgess, and good morning. Introduce everyone. Pray with me if you would. No, yes, let's speak the way. I come to you this morning with a glad heart. Today is a good day for the Pawnee Nation. For we are about to witness graduation for the class of 2021 at TS. And I know many prayers have been said for these students by their family, their loved ones. And today, those prayers have been answered. I ask your blessing on these graduates, that they may go forward in life, to go to higher aspirations, that you might be with them in every step of the way, in everything that they do. Bless them, protect them, guide them, and be with them. I pray that you will send a blessing to this Pawnee Nation College as well. It's a wonderful asset for our community and our nation. Bless all of the President Burgess and all of his board of trustees, as well as the professors there and all of the staff, Father. This class of 2021 has gone through this pandemic, Father, and I'm thankful that they have come through it so far in good stead. And I'm grateful for the efforts of our college during this pandemic, Father, to protect our students and staff, and yet at the same time provide a higher education. And today we can see the results of that, Father. And so I thank you for all of these good things. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
You may be seated. I know that it's important for all of us here today, on behalf of the family. Just be careful if you're recording. I know on your phones it may not interfere, but if somebody has a hearing aid, sometimes it makes it squeal if you have a tape player, cassette player, recording. I want to say thank you again. I said a few words earlier, words of welcome and appreciation to all of you. And congratulations, early congratulations to our graduates here. It's not been easy on every one of our families, on every one of our organizations. But I want to say to you all here, to the Pawnee people, that I'm really proud of you all. Sticking through the year, the program that the college tried to establish and what we're growing into. We are moving into a new era, especially for our young people here today. I know that a lot of us are not ready for college. I wasn't when I finished high school. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to take on the debt. And for all of my non-Indian friends here today, I was scared of being around non-Indians. I lived on a reservation in Montana from the 5th grade until the 9th grade. And I seldom saw anybody but farmers. And we Indians didn't have a good time with farmer boys, particularly on the sports field. So as a little guy, 6th, 7th grader, I was into playing football with these big guys, and these big farmers boys get pushed all over the place, you know. So when I moved to Lawrence, Kansas, I went to a high school of over 1,100 students, only 12 Indians. So it was a shock. So I had to learn to adjust and get along in society and make friends and be acquainted with a lot of people. And so through that experience, that built me up to be strong enough to go to college when I was ready. So I encourage you young folks, you're going through high school, you might have a parent telling you go to college, but your parent too can tell you prepare for it, plan for it. If you're working, save money, plan on your grades. And that's the important thing, keeping your grades up in high school so you're eligible for these scholarships that come about. And we want you to take advantage of all the scholarships you can, because our tribes are having a hard time with getting that funding to give to you. And so I encourage all of our students here today, Indian and non-Indian, prepare yourself in high school to go forward in a good way. We have a gentleman that's going to be speaking with us, but I want to introduce everybody here. Dr. Evans with us, Pawnee member, and newly elected to the Pawnee Business Council. Our good friend, Ms. Cordelia Clapp, lifetime nurse educator on many items for our health, and representative of the Pawnee people with a nursing field around the country, our trustee. Mr. Walter Echohawk, all of you know him, you're president here with the nation, one of the original trustees for the Pawnee Nation College. And with us, Ms. Carol Chapman Young, tribal member, formerly with Northeastern Oklahoma State University, NEO, right? No, NESU in Tahlequah. NSU in Tahlequah. And on the far end, Dr. Clarence Bench, middle name Rooster. He has EDD, equivalent to a doctorate, and he's been with us since I've been here. And then with us today, Ms. Kim Muri, tribal member. Her field is science now, and law and business. And then with us, Mr. Jim Trumbley, Boshaji, business, doctor of business administration or business management. Dr. Nikki Michaels, Delaware Nation. Currently on faculty with Bacon College and former adjunct with the Pawnee Nation College. And I want to introduce Dr. Susan Nash, English Humanities areas for her. She's our adjunct professor. And on the far end, Don, would you stand up? Don Price, ladies and gentlemen, is representing Nebraska Indian Community College, our new partnership. And they are a 2-year school, giving us great guidance in preparing us for Higher Learning Commission accreditation. And she is student services. Her, Marcella, and then Stacy of our college, and they work well together on behalf of all of our students for enrollment, classes, and anything else that you need. She's the one at NICC that we go to. And even if we don't need it, she brings it to us. So we want to say thank you, welcome Don, appreciate that. And so, you know, it's always good to have homegrown talent. It's always good to have one of our people, just as you've elected all of your council members, to come up to represent. Because ladies and gentlemen, young ones, in today's world, it has become very small since the invention of the internet. And in today's world, it's getting even smaller for us native people. Because there's communities, individuals around the world that see us as a beacon, our Indian peoples here in Canada. I'm learning this by the communications that come to us from foreign nations and other people in the education field. They want to know how we did it and what we did for us to survive the way we have, and how we're trying to progress into this 21st and 22nd and into the future centuries. And what that progress is for our future, we try to establish today. And the programming that we're doing at Pawnee Nation College is something that was not germane to my culture among the Comanche people. You know, horse trading or horse stealing, the raiding we did, the warrior ways that we had, it was not going to survive. We were not going to be able to make it because we did not take the time, we didn't have the time at those years to be agrarian. We had to be aggressive because of those social orders that were came to you all, came to our people on the East Coast first. And that social order disrupted a lot of our communities that were agrarian. The societies that grow the most are the ones who do not have to go to war constantly to protect themselves. And that's what we're doing here at Pawnee Nation College. We've kind of moved into a agrarian, agricultural science, agricultural business programming. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's where our help has come from. And it's come from within because of the traditional society that the Pawnee people and your neighbors had with agriculture. And so we're working hard to introduce those programs, and we've got a lot of faculty that have background in that, and that's helping us to grow. And this is something that an individual can do for your community, coming from within. One that knows how to nurture the spirit as well as mend the bone. One that knows how to calm your heart as well as to give you the guidance in keeping that heart strong. And so with that, I can't say any more about our speaker today. A real gentleman to me and considered a friend. And all of our trustees, they have a great heart for the community and they're very supportive of the college. And I'm proud of them for you all. I'm not a Pawnee Nation member, but I'm proud of what they've done. And it's a beacon for the other tribes. If they really want to do this and stick to it, they can do it. So with their guidance and the prayers that have been uttered, not only today, in the past, and the prayers that will come in the future, I believe Pawnee Nation College will be here for all of you and for this community here and the surrounding nations. So with that, I did as best I could here to introduce Dr. Evans and the heart he has for the community, for people, and why he's standing up to be a leader among you. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm turning this over to Dr. Gene Evans.
President Burgess, President Eckehoff, Dr. Benish, honorable attendees, staff, professors, family, friends, loved ones, class, graduating class of 2021. I'm honored to speak today. No, I'm proud of you. Once, long ago, I graduated, obtained my diploma, started a long path toward being here today. Being here and giving a commencement speech. It's not a place I would have ever imagined I would be. You've completed a milestone. You've proven yourself. And you might never imagine it, but it might be you talking to a graduating class in a few years. So, graduating class, do you feel smarter? Some of you, maybe, yeah. I didn't. Well, at least not right away. And those of you that may already feel supremely confident, good for you. But for the rest of you, how do you feel? In some ways, when I was graduating, when I was in your shoes, I felt worse. I have this degree, right? So people will expect me to be smart. They'll expect me to be more competent than I feel. Than I am. Does that, and somehow am I a fraud? But here's the thing. What if it worked? What if you are actually smarter and more competent than you think you are? With education, your brain structure changes. You literally are a different person, physically, chemically, different than you would have been. So, at those low points, and there will be low points, when your confidence is low, when that little voice on your shoulder is telling you to quit, that little voice is saying, don't even try. Who are you to think you could make a difference? You have a diploma that says there are those who've evaluated you and think you're deserving of it. So maybe you're more intelligent than you feel. You're more valuable than you feel. You pass the test. It's not just opinion. You're objectively, literally, certifiably, well, actually, you'll be certified in a few minutes, as competent. You've been judged able to do great things. Because even when it was hard, you got it done. Recognize your courage, your honor, and honestly give yourself the credit that you are due. You have approached greatness today. So, did you learn anything useful while you're here? Anything life-altering? Yeah. Of course you did, oh my goodness. Get off the fence. Do you know everything you need to know? No. Do you know, are you an expert at anything? Of course not. Your education to this point is a little bit about gaining hard knowledge and a whole lot about learning how to learn. Don't lose that. Don't lose that. You will have wasted your time here if you let yourself stop learning and stop growing. Ongoing learning and growth powered by courage, honor, and honesty creates a path towards greatness. Do not let yourself be pulled off that path by self-doubt or laziness, a search for an easy, leisurely path to happiness, because there's no effort-free path to happiness and contentment. The path to contentedness is the same path that's really towards your personal greatness. Greatness, personal greatness. Does my life as an individual have some meaning? I believe the potential of greatness is in everyone, and it's all around us. We just have to find it and appreciate it. We have to believe in it. But it's really kind of hard to define. And my personal greatness is different than yours. And I can't define your path. So you started down that path of lifelong learning. But I think it's important to talk about the engines that power us along that path, to keep us going down that path of a life of learning to personal greatness. Courage, the absence of fear. Absolutely not. It takes no courage to do something that you're not afraid of. Instead, it's continuing to move forward in the face of fear or doubt, not quitting. Endeavor to persevere, to quote an old movie. Honor. You know, one definition is high respect and esteem. I'm honored that I'm getting to speak to you today, but right now I'm thinking of kind of the other side of honor. And that's sticking to a moral code, even when it's hard. Doing what is right, even when it hurts. Because doing what is right is important. Honesty. Simply telling the truth. But is it that simple? I'm going to spend a little time on honesty because you can't have honor, you can't have a true direction in life without it. And honesty is actually kind of complex. It requires active thought where truth is more passive. So truth, to me at least, is different than honesty. A given truth is based on something I believe, based on my limited knowledge at one given point in time. So, the all-American dog. This breed was used as a classic kid's dog in the TV shows of the era, about 90 years ago. And, for those who can remember, Petey from the Little Rascals. Companies at that time used this breed of dogs as the symbols of trust and loyalty. That was the truth of that time regarding pit bulls. Now, many feel that pit bulls are dangerous, not to be trusted, bred only to be fighting dogs. Some would say evil. Two completely different truths. But what's the honest truth? The world is flat. It's an obvious truth. Just look down, right? It was believed for thousands of years. But when we took a step back and looked at the world from a different perspective, we found that truth was really kind of silly. So honesty, requires that we open ourselves up to a broader viewpoint. And as educated people, we must evaluate our world, seeing what is right in front of us and yet knowing that there is always more to the picture. So the hardest part of being honest is being honest with yourself. Because you see, honesty is how we evaluate ourselves and our world. You cannot be honest with others without first being honest with yourself. And the more educated one becomes, the more truths you learn, the more perspectives that are visible to you, the more you realize that there's always more there than you can easily see. So honesty is kind of messy. One must actively, continuously evaluate what you know and what is possible to be as honest as possible. To the uneducated, it seems like weakness. Why are you spending time thinking when the answer is obvious? Obviously, one should not travel too far, or you'll drop off that edge of that flat earth. How long did that kind of thinking limit our knowledge and exploration of our world? Obviously, all pit bulls are evil. Obviously, I won't take a vaccine to save your grandmother because someone told me some outrageous reason not to. Obviously, I'm not a racist because I've got a friend who is one of those people. To me, the point of education is to gain a more honest view of our world, of our thoughts and actions, and the path we choose to reach our future. And I know it's kind of old-fashioned to talk about courage, honor, and honesty. They're difficult concepts because they're not just like a check mark on a list of accomplishments. And no one is completely courageous or innately honorable. And we clearly lack the ability to be all-seeing and omnipresent, to be able to have a perfectly honest view of our world. In math, there's a concept that kind of helps with this, kind of fits this, and it's essential to calculus. It's this concept of limits, and it gives us a mathematical way to deal with infinity. The point is, we can approach infinity, but it cannot be measured. Can something ever be measured as infinite? Of course not. If it is reachable, if it is measurable, then it's finite. By definition, not infinite, not infinite. In such a way, complete honesty can only be approached in that same way then. Honor is only approachable. Courage is the same. To me, the daily attempt at courage, honor, and honesty are the components of greatness that drive us down that path of continued learning and growth that then leads to great deeds. And if each of these components are not reachable, then how can anyone reach greatness? But that's the thing. Greatness cannot be achieved. It can only be approached. By that I mean, it is something we have to strive for every day. Why should we strive for greatness? Because that is the path to happiness and contentment. It feels good. It feeds our pride. And pride then circles around and gives us the strength to continue down that path of growth. So, today, you're in a moment approaching greatness. It's one of those times where you can sense what true greatness feels like. I hope you feel the power of what you have done. And with that, realize that you cannot continually feel this way without ongoing effort. It takes daily effort, daily courage, daily honor, daily honesty, guiding us to do important things. Contentment, joy of life, happiness. It's what we all seek. But it's not found in our achievements. I thought how happy I would be if I bought a certain car. And later found that it was more fun thinking about it and saving for it than actually owning it later. Happiness and contentedness. It's not found in achievements, but it's truly found in that daily effort. I've heard someone say the journey is more important than the destination. So keep learning, keep growing, keep striving to live that courageous, honorable, honest lives so that you approach greatness, and in doing so, do great things. So I am proud of you. And I guarantee you, your families and friends are proud of you. And as great as that is, it's much less important than the pride in yourself that you must let yourself feel right now, today. Remember this feeling and attempt to approach it in some way every day. Go do great things.
Thank you very much. There's several phrases in his speech. I'm going to ask for a copy of that. One of these days I might be fortunate to borrow all of those. And so, ladies and gentlemen, again, a milestone has been reached. I believe this. I'm going to probably make a mistake here, but I'm going to rely on the girls again. Ladies, is this 2007? This is our 13th graduation. 13th graduation of students, and I think one of our first or second year students, Marcelo Stevenson, sitting over here. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have a faculty member here that I didn't see until just Angela Greenwood. Would you please stand? She is one of our instructors, English, but she's done a great job tutoring those individuals who have a hard time catching phrases or the writing, and I know what they're going through. That's why when I was in high school, I went to industrial arts, not into writing or acting or all the math, you know. My coaching at Lodge Grass Junior High was not very strong. So when I got to that big public school, I became a shiny Indian, man. I was way back there. Flower on the wall, just a lump on the wall, maybe. But with that, you know, I want to tell these graduates to please stand. Graduates. This is your moment here. You now get to move that tassel from one side to the other. And congratulations. Okay, we're going to ask Walter, Dr. Evans, and Cordelia. I'm going to ask you all to come on up. Carol, excuse me. Come up, trustees. We're going to have you all stand over here, and ladies, come help us with the awards here. From Patricia? Okay, you have them stacked up. We're going to, this is the Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Mrs. Patricia Bighart. Do you have family want to take pictures or anything? You're welcome to come up. Well, I'd like to have them take pictures as they come to and stand with the trustees. One of our Washaji students from over on the Osage reservation. I want to call up Robert Frazier, Associate in Science and Business Administration. We're still affiliated with Bacone, so everybody that will have a bachelor's is going to be recognized at Bacone, and ours will be a certificate here honoring them in this way. So I want to get a picture here. Go ahead. Calling up Mr. Albert Lawrence, completed his Bachelor's Arts, American Indian Studies. Jasmine Lawrence. Dual certificates here, bachelor's and associates, American Indian Studies. Bachelor's out of Bacone and associates with our college and Bacone. We'd like to call up Summer Morgan, completing her bachelor's, American Indian Studies, Bacone, and our certificate here from Pawnee Nation College. Calling up Shayna Pierre Smith. I hope I said that right. Bachelor of Science, Business Administration with Bacone, and our certificate. And Rosetta Clark, Bachelor of Science, American Indian Studies, out of Bacone. We do have some awards to give out, trustees. We're going to call upon other faculty and associates. If you would be seated, please. Graduates, you may be seated. One of the individuals receiving the award today could not be here with us, Mr. Arthur Dogamon. Everybody calls him AP. He had a family emergency today, so I'm going to turn this over for our special awards to Dr. Benish, and then another special award presented by Dr. Nikki Michael from Bake Home.
Thank you, President. It's good to be here and in the time of loss, and as Dr. Evans said, it's talking about gaining now instead of losing as we have the last couple of years. You've gained an education, you've gained power, and we're going forward. We've turned as a nation, as a native nation, as an American nation, we've turned the corner on this pandemic that caused great losses. So today we're talking about our gains, and we gained several powerful members to our community. And so I would like to present some special awards. This is the Dean's Honor Roll at both Pawnee Nation College and Nebraska Indian Community College. And it goes to Crystal Hawkins. And around. This next award, also Dean's Honor Roll from Pawnee Nation College and Nebraska Indian Community College. One of our favorite students, all in arm though, Elizabeth Dallas. She got shot with revenge and booster at the same time. Okay. Now this this is a very some Dr. Evans said about gains and losses. Well, this is our volunteer of the year. And it obviously moves me to present this to Kathy Graves.
Kathy has been a strong volunteer. Go ahead and look at the cameras when I talk. With our Pawnee O Community Garden here, the college, we have Pawnee O, Pawnee Agricultural Nutrition Initiative and Outreach. It's been funded for the last 4 years through a grant with Oklahoma State University and National Science Foundation. And that grant, we are just a sub-recipient, but that grant has put Pawnee Nation College on a map with a most prestigious organization. And the individual that has been essential to networking with Pawnee Nation College was not able to be with us today. But she is a friend to the college, and what she told us is, I've adopted Pawnee Nation College. She is Professor Patricia Reyes Duarte, who initiated an outreach to us and came through our good friend here, Kim. Her daughter, Kim's daughter, was in her class as a native student. And Dr. Reyes has spent several years in, I believe, in Minnesota, 10 or 12 years, and I had worked a little bit with the urban community and some of the tribal groups. But when she got here, and Kim's daughter, Megan was her student. And you have a Pawnee Nation member who is now going for her PhD in microbiology science, neuroscience. So the Pawnee people, with your Dr. Evans here, with your other students around the country, getting highly educated, is giving notice to these institutions about your little college right here. And that network has grown. Dr. Reyes was going to join us, but couldn't make it. So we have an appreciation, another volunteer of the year award for her, and we'll give it to her at a later date. But I just wanted to mention that to you all, and how this network with Dr. Reyes Duarte, now networking with other faculty. We're getting involved with agricultural sciences. There's a pesticide conference for pollinators going on. We're trying to go into creating a pollinating garden here for our plants, for all of the trees and the things that need pollination, and corn especially. What has happened, modern farming techniques have destroyed a lot of the plants that these pollinators relied on. And so now scientists have discovered what has been going on when our plants are failing because they're not being pollinated on a regular basis. Something agrarian societies knew how to do. So we're reintroducing this information, this knowledge back to the local communities here. So that's just what I wanted to say about Dr. Reyes and how she became we became adopted by her. So thank you.
I would like to add another point about our little college. The other day, a couple weeks now, Osage Congressman John Maker gave a talk at Pawneeville Ranch for the Lieutenant Governor's turkey hunt. Congressman Maker is a graduate of Pawnee Nation College, and he just completed his master's degree, and being the first Pawnee Nation College graduate to get their master's degree, and he's Osage Congressman. We now have among us a student who's going to be the second. And I'm so proud. When I first started, I said, I'm just going to work until I get myself replaced. It's happening. It's happening. And that's Wishy Lorenz. He's working on his master's degree. So things are happening here. I have said this to a lot of people in a lot of places because of my role as an actor and playing Rooster Cogburn. There are more people in Fort Smith that know about Pawnee Nation College than there are in Pawnee, because I never play that role without talking about my other role. And now I have to add those facts that I just told you. We're pushing advanced degrees. No longer just an associate and no longer just a bachelor's, but they must go on, as Dr. Evans said. They learn the skills to go on. So, we have another special award that's going to be presented by Dr. Nikki Michaels, and I'd like to call her up at this time.
My name is she. Take off both masks. Kecelakaan Katayakoy, Lanapeni, Nuladinda, Pawnee Nation College. I am so honored to be here on behalf of Big Cone, American Indian Studies. And we have an award going to the Outstanding American Indian Studies student. We gave this last week at our Bacone College graduation, but I was invited here to give it to her personally, and I'm so glad to be here because I actually have not got to see so many of the students. I've been on Zoom all year with them, and it's difficult, you know, trying to establish those relationships and making these decisions about who's the best student that we want to recognize, and there really was no best student per se. All of you are amazing. All of you have persevered through a really traumatic year. And the fear of walking outside without a mask, or fear of getting COVID, and still, my son has COVID right now. And he's trying to finish his finals. So that is the kind of students that we see in our Native American population, but especially here at our tribal college level. I work at state institutions and I work at tribal college institutions and tribes. And tribal council member, don't hate me. So with that being said, this is about a young lady who tackled a book called Comanche Empire. And if any of you have ever read that book, it is thousands of pages, and it is very dense, and most graduate students don't even want to read it. So I have a young lady who decided her first class with me to tackle that book, and ever since then, I've just seen nothing but wonderful work from her. And with that, I will just call Jasmine Lorenz up here and recognize her.
Thank you, Dr. Michaels. So, ladies and gentlemen, if our student Jasmine had known, I could have told her everything in that book. I met the gentleman who wrote that book. He sat in teepee with us, and his companion, his wife, was with him. He sat over there on the north side. So next morning, I tried to visit with him. And now, those of you who didn't know me, and Donna and Charlie would say I'm lying, because we were at Haskell together. They would say I'm not shy. But when I was in high school, I was very shy. I'm still shy today. I was so shy, I never asked my wife to marry me. Well, I didn't. I wouldn't stop the car until she said yes. So Jasmine here studied that book, and I got halfway through it, Dr. Michael. Then it dawned on me, I read this stuff 10, 20 years ago. All of these other books, all of these compilations, and some of the original documentation he got, after I read through, I went back to the credits and read through all the acknowledgments. I said, I read all these guys' books before, so she should have asked me, Cliff book right here on Comanche Empire, I would give it to you. So with that, Pawnee Nation College is very, very happy and very proud of you, that we also are going to recognize you, outstanding American Indian Student of the Year at Pawnee Nation College, Ms. Jasmine Lorenz. You know, it's customary that receiving awards like this, there might be a time to offer a word or a valedictorian, but we've had so many of you. In my estimation, you're all valedictorians, salutatorians. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, we I ask you all to give a round of applause for our graduates. And my trustees are here, just to let you know, trustees, working with Dr. Reyes, we are now a recipient of another grant through Oklahoma State University again, and that has to do with agricultural sciences. And it's 3 more years of funding that we can continue something like the Pawnee Old Garden. So we're still searching for ways to fund our little school, ladies and gentlemen. With that, don't forget we're having a reception here. I think we have things lined out and on the end there, but there's one last item here. Dr. Evans talked about how sometimes you never know what you're going to be called upon to do. And I don't know how all of the elders here do things. But when my folks told me this, that when people ask you to help your family, your community, when they ask you for help and you're able to help, don't be afraid, don't be shy. And there's an old phrase in Indian country that translated to English is, do the best you can. Do all that you can, do it in a good manner, do the best you can to support people. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, Walter here was just giving me words of encouragement. He's an elected official. I'm trying to help my people by not being full-time, but part-time on the committee as well. And my service here was not in my plan of life. And for all of you, we tell you, plan your life, get your education, look forward, and da-da-da-da-da-da. As I look back on my service here at Pawnee Nation College, the 9 years I've been here, that's added to the other 18 years I had in adult education, higher education programs and service to our Indian communities. So I've been in adult education all my life and I'm still not that smart. But I'm proud to say I've tried to help others. I've always tried to open the door for other people. This is what my mother had told me. And I see Dr. Evans here as one of your leaders, and I don't want to say he's an elder, but as a person coming up in the community and being here for the 20 plus years he's been here, he's been involved with many families. He's been involved with many of your cultural responsibilities. And that is a heavy burden. Not because it's hard to do, it's because our hearts, we want to serve, we want to give. And in leadership, there's a phrase that goes around, servant leadership. How are you going to help? If you're going to do something, how can you be helpful? And so we want to say thank you to Dr. Evans. Come up here, Dr. Appreciate you. I don't know if you can believe our trustees, but I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure to work under his guidance with the rest of the trustees and doing all that we can as a team for the benefit of the community and further your education here. So with that, thank you, Doc. Good luck to you. And so we have the reception going on, but before we do that, I just want to say thank you to the community, to the trustees, to all of you here today. I'm just thinking about our families. So if you all just take a moment of silence, recognize it. Sumaya ko tu sinas bukai. Kebuni nak nama Pawnee kima kena dasar. Mahani mahani terter sita tu sinas bukai. Father Jesus, I ask that you look at the Pawnee people here today. Bless them. These students who come, been honored in this way, Father, I ask that you be with them throughout their life cycle. Be with your children here. This nation here today, Father, the many years that they've been here, the things that they go through, development that they need, like all of our nations, Father, I ask that you give them courage, their leadership, their members, that to be as one when they go forward together. For we must move on. A new day is coming, Father, so I ask that you bless them. Bless this nation. with new times, good tidings, new endeavors that become beneficial for all. This we say to you, Amen.
All right, you can celebrate. I don't have any more to say. If you want to take pictures now, this background, you're welcome to do it for our family and friends, graduates. Thank you all.